Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Rick Knabb, Director, National Hurricane Center, coming to you live from NHC here in Miami. It is the morning of Saturday, September the 3rd, 9:30 in the morning, and we're going to try something a little different here on Periscope this morning. And it's a very unique platform because obviously you're listening to me right now. The wonderful technology lets me talk to you live, but of course the Periscope videos can be replayed up to a day after we broadcast this live. So what I'm going to try to do is give you an overall picture of what's currently going on and what we're most concerned about, but for the true up-to-date live information, stay tuned to hurricanes.gov, to the website of your local forecast office, to local media, because in a situation like this, things can change quickly where you live, and some of what I might say could get out of date if you are watching this on a replay. But here we are on Saturday morning with the center of circulation of Hermine having just now come offshore from North Carolina. Now, this does not look like it did when it came ashore in Florida, but it is still something that we have to be very, very wary of, because we think this is going to re-strengthen over the waters. And here's what we are really confident of. This is not going to be moving much after we get to Sunday, because Sunday, Monday, could even go to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. This could be meandering off the mid-Atlantic and northeast coast. We don't yet know exactly just how close to the coastline the center might get. It still can't rule out that it actually comes ashore. We can't rule out that it goes a little farther offshore. But because we think it's going to be a pretty strong, large, potent system, the center of circulation might be out here, but the center of action might be where you live. Wind and water hazards of a variety of kinds are things we have to contend with throughout the Labor Day weekend, we're sorry to say. Certainly a bad weekend to be at the beach and on boats. At a minimum, we're going to have some beach erosion, rip currents, dangerous waves all the way from the south-facing shores of New England, Cape Cod, Nantucket, all the way around, down to, in the Hampton Roads area this morning, it is a rough morning. This morning, one of the tide gauges in the Hampton Roads area, about 3 in the morning, started to really ramp up, and the storm surge started to come in because, as this has been coming offshore, we've had this northeasterly flow into the Hampton Roads area, pretty strong winds, and that's causing storm surge. And the high tide, no doubt when you're watching this, high tide at 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, September the 3rd, that is the time period of peak overall water levels, combining the tide and the surge. And then it's going to continue to be a bad day throughout Saturday as the winds will continue to pound into that area. Things are going to improve in the Hampton Roads area and the Delmarva when you get into Sunday, but still a very rough day in the Hampton Roads area. Now, when we talk about the entire region from the Long Island area all the way down through the Jersey Shore and the Delmarva, that's where a variety of watches and warnings are in effect, will remain in effect. Keep up to date from us at the Hurricane Center and your local Weather Service forecast office the changes to those watches and warnings. But here are the hazards that we are contending with. First, tropical storm conditions. We've got watches and warnings up for that hazard, and if the center of circulation remains close enough to shore, you could have extended periods of tropical storm force winds, and with the rain band setting up in just the wrong spot for you, could have extended periods of heavy rainfall that could cause flooding due to fresh water. And then, of course, there's the ocean. With a situation of a cyclone sitting and meandering offshore, we're going to have onshore flow pushing the ocean persistently for perhaps days into this part of the coastline of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. And that's why there is the potential for life-threatening storm surge in certain spots. So what you really need to do is pay attention to what your local forecast office is saying about which particular areas are greatest at risk. If you hear from an emergency manager telling you that you need to get out of a particular area or stay away from a certain area because of the ocean coming on to normally dry ground, you've got to follow that advice. We are going to continue throughout the Labor Day weekend to issue all of our advisories, products, and warnings from the Hurricane Center, no matter what kind of system this is or is not, for the next several days. Because this could evolve into a not fully tropical system and then maybe back again to tropical. Who knows? Forget about it. Don't worry about that specific status, because we're going to continue to handle it the same way. And we're going to hit with all of our tropical storm watches and warnings. The prototype storm surge watch warning graphic will continue to be issued as long as storm surge is a threat to this part of the coastline. Now, what are we going to be doing as the day goes on here on Saturday? Continue to issue new advisories at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. and then 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. During the day today, I'm going to be briefing emergency managers at the federal and state level, sometimes with the local forecast offices, talking to some of the local emergency managers. So this is going to be a prolonged event. This is not going to be out of here. We're confident of that. It's not going to be out of here in a couple days. This is going to last throughout the Labor Day holiday weekend and perhaps beyond that time into mid or late week, meandering offshore. So prepare yourself for several days of keeping in touch with us at hurricanes.gov, NHC Atlantic, NWS NHC on Twitter. I'm at NHC Director on Twitter, your local forecast office website, and they are on social media as well. Stay safe, everyone. We will continue to update you frequently here from the Hurricane Center.